Hi, this is David Race, and thanks for joining me today. And I thought it'd be appropriate. I don't think I've shared this with you personally before, but my story, because I think it's important to know where somebody comes from, how they see the world, their paradigm about life. Whether it's a friend that you have, whether it's a doctor, how do they perceive the world? And for me, that's super important in relationships. And I can tell you, it started a long time ago. When my parents got divorced when I was 2. Obviously, I didn't know that. They got divorced. And I was very blessed to have my grandmother and grandfather, Edna and Kermit, to help take care of me because I had a single mother. I ended up having 2 other brothers and sisters, so very, very difficult for my mom. So I would spend a lot of my summers, a lot of time with my grandparents, Edna and Kermit. My grandmother passed away way too early, had a lot of health issues. She died in her early 70s. And my grandfather got to live a full and long life. He used to work for Sears, Sears Roebuck. In fact, they just got saved out of bankruptcy. I think the CEO bought the company, thank God, because what a storied company. And my grandfather worked there for, I believe, like 30 years. And he was a television repairman back when that was an actual job. Now that we barely can fix our cars or our TV anymore. But I used to remember my grandfather behind our own TV, I think it was a Zenith, and fixing the tubes or whatever he'd call them. So he drove the white van with the red letters and the ladder on top. I'd be waiting for him to come home. And that was a big image for me. And in fact, my first I guess, foray, for lack of a better term, into business, into finance was my grandfather owned Sears stock, which back then was very, very profitable company. And every Sunday we'd go through, and I remember putting my finger in the business section looking for the S's for Sears stock because his whole pension was tied to Sears stock. So he was very cared very much about the value of his stock. He was a frugal man, saved his pennies, was not wealthy by any stretch, but was free and clear with his house, saved his money, had a little bit of a pension. And unfortunately, like a lot of folks that were around, a lot of family members and friends, he was diagnosed with dementia. And he private paid, so he paid for his own care for about 3 or 4 years, and he ran out of money, which is unfortunate. He then qualified for Medi-Cal. It's called Medicaid across the country. In order to qualify, you can only have $2,000 in the bank, a burial plot, a wedding ring, a house, and a car. And so that's basically your life is over. Your life savings is gone, and now you're basically indigent. It's a welfare program, Medi-Cal is. So he was taken care of by Medi-Cal for another couple of years, and then he passed away. To add insult to injury, I got a phone call from my mother crying and saying, "David, I just got a notice from Health and Human Resources that there's a lien on our property for $20,000 due to the fact that he had received benefits from Medi-Cal." And that was very, very stressful. And this was the first year I was in the business in 1995. And so people are my clients. My family's coming to me for advice, and I know zero about this stuff. So long story short, I ended up hiring an attorney, an elder law attorney, figured this stuff out. We were able to save the home, taught me a lot. But the one thing it taught me, and why I do what I do in retirement planning, is that I watched in my first year of the business my grandfather and grandmother lose everything they had. That has impact on you. There's a lot of you out there, my clients, you included. Your parents were what are called depression babies, right? Banks failed, 25% unemployment. They didn't trust banks. They were very nervous about markets. And so when I came into the business in 95, I came from that mindset of, wow, we have to protect what we have first. And so doing retirement planning for now over 20 years, what it's taught me is that we have to protect capital first, then grow capital, and then create income from that capital. So I hope that helps you to see the world through my eyes, through my paradigm, and why that we do what we do, why I do what I do, and the perspective that I have, and hopefully that helps you to learn more about me and the firm. Thank you very much.